Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to Ensemble Movie Month. And this is another film. This is a film from last year that I saw a few months ago on DVD, and it's a 2017 action crime comedy in a way, and that is Baby Driver. Yes, this is the newest movie that Edgar Wright did, and it's a movie with a massive cast, pretty much for the hour and 50 minutes around there. Yeah, I'll get to that. That's one of my issues with the movie. This is a really good movie. I did enjoy this film. I think the critics are right on that it's a really fun movie, and Edgar Wright did a good job writing the film and directing it. And this is one of his like two films that he did without a full British cast. There is one though, and I will get to that because he didn't. He was supposed to do Ant-Man, but he left, and Peyton Reed took over for him, and he still got a writing credit. So I could tell his humor was in that movie, but. I've enjoyed the Cornetto trilogy that he did before. I haven't seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I've heard some mixed things, but I've heard that he did a good job directing the cast, and that has some American actors and Canadian actors. And then there's this one, which is definitely different from all the others. It doesn't have Simon Pegg or Nick Frost or any Canadian actors mostly. It's a different kind of a cast. You have Kevin Spacey, Jamie Foxx, and Ansel Elgort and a bunch of other people as well. But I'll get to that. The basically the plot is this kid had an accident when he was a kid. You know, Ansel Elgort. He was in a car accident with his family and they died, and he lost part of his hearing. So he has like this tuning in his ear. So he has to wear these headphones, by the way, not those wireless ones that look like they're broken, on his ear and listen to his iPod, so he can he can tune that noise out and live in his own world. And he does sign language with a black guardian that he has, and it's really well done. Like Ansel Elgort's acting is phenomenal. He can talk in the movie, so he's not a mute, and he really carries the movie. Without him, this movie would be just okay. I think his acting really elevates the film from like watchable to a good movie because the writing is so strong for him and he's able to communicate with his hands. He did a good job with that, and he's very likable despite that he has to go on these crime sprees for Kevin Spacey. And the film is funny. Like there's a scene where the guys are wearing masks, and it says, "Where do you get these masks?" He's like, "Oh, they're Michael Myers." He said, "I asked you, Michael Myers. This is Mike Myers." I'm like, I said Michael Myers, the guy from Halloween. It's like, "Oh, you mean Jason?" That was funny. That was in the trailer. And there's other scenes in the movie as well that are pretty funny as well. It's more of a crime action film, but it's very well directed. This film looks great. The sound mixing was well done. It got an Oscar nomination, I think, for the editing. It is really well done editing. The car chases and the shootouts and a lot of the violence. This is an R-rated movie, so this is not for your children. Edgar Wright movies are usually not for kids, except for Scott Pilgrim, which is a PG-13. It's definitely tamer than this, but this film has blood and violence and sexual content, not any nudity or anything, but it does have that. And what works in the movie is most of the cast. I think Jamie Foxx is good in the film, what he has to do. John Hamm is a great freaking villain. I think he's fantastic as the villain. Really like John Hamm from Keeping Up with the Joneses. I like his voice in Minions. I haven't seen Mad Men, but I heard good things about him. He's a very handsome, good actor, and he's always dependable. Kevin Spacey, putting the controversy aside, people, this is not a political video because I'm politically incorrect. I don't give a shit if he's gay. The guy can still act. He's fantastic in this movie as the slippery guy man that has to freaking be in the shadows and work, and he's like baby. Everybody calls him baby. That's basically his name in throughout the film. Ansel Elgort, and he's telling him, "You have to listen to me, or there will be consequences." And Ansel's like, "I'm going to do one more job, and then I'm done. I'm going to move on with my life." And it's a really good movie. Like also you have there's this Spanish lady in the movie. I forgot her name, but she's in there. And you have a brief appearance by John Bernthal. He's basically in a cameo. He's the Punisher on the Netflix series. So I'm going to keep an eye on for him because I've heard good things about his Punisher, and I love the trailer for that. So I'm really looking forward to. My biggest issue with this movie, and this is coming. If you've seen my videos for the last 5 years, this is what I'm not a fan of. Lily James. Wait for it. I need a minute. Lily James is the freaking bitch from freaking Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, a movie I hated. It was in my worst of 2016. She did Cinderella in the remake that Disney did, which I didn't give a shit about. And she's in Mamma Mia 2, a prequel to a movie I didn't give a shit about in the first place. Not a good track record. I hated Lily James in this movie. I did. I hated her. Every scene that she's in with Ansel Elgort, I think this chemistry falls flat. He's better off with the other actors. She has this shitty Southern accent that she acts like she's on freaking The Walking Dead. I'm like, why are you doing a Southern accent and it doesn't take place in Texas? Nobody else in the movie has a Southern accent. She's like, "Oh baby, baby, let me get you something, my dear." I'm like, "Fuck off, Lily James." Okay, you're not fooling anyone. The only reason you're in this movie is because Edgar Wright is British and he puts a Brit in every single one of his films. Even even Ant Man had one before he left the project because it has Haley Atwell in a cameo. I guess British directors are always going to be biased. That's the way they are. Dunkirk with Christopher Nolan and everything he's done, and freaking Matthew Vaughn, and freaking they're not bad directors. It's just they're British, so they want to get somebody from their homeland to feel, to be in their comfort zone. Lily James just did nothing for me. I don't find her sexy. She drags the movie down. She makes the movie 15 minutes too long. Everything else in the movie works except for her. The Spanish girl, I think it's Eliza Gonzalez or something like that. She's way more attractive, and she tickles my fancy a lot more than her. If I could take the lesser of two evils, I would take a Spanish girl from South America or Central America, or freaking Spain, than take a bitch from the UK like this. I'm sorry, she does nothing for me. I don't get hard when I see her. I think she's freaking terrible. Her accent just sucks ass. And the only reason I watched this movie was for Ansel Elgort. Like I said, he is the glue that holds this movie together. His performance is great. There's a scene where John Hamm blows out his eardrum so he can't hear a thing now because they're struggling and they're fighting with a gun, and then pow, and his ears just he can't hear a thing. And really, and then they give her something to do at the end where she helps him fight off John Hamm. I'm like, you can't act. I don't buy you as a badass. You're terrible. You're terrible at what you do. You're a freaking model that should never freaking act again. And I hope if they do a Baby Driver sequel, please just kill her off. Don't bring her back. I'm sick and tired of people, women from the UK. They do these shitty accents, and then when I find out they're not American or Canadian or whatever, I'm like, yeah, I kind of saw that coming. Is she as terrible as the hobo? No, that's a whole new level of suck. With this girl, she bogs the movie down. The movie would have been an hour and 35 minutes without her. Just saying. Tevye really enjoyed this movie. I think it's good. It's not great, but it's a good movie that Edgar Wright wrote and directed with a mostly 90% cast, that 90% of the cast that's good, except for that shit stain Lily James. Just nothing. In one ear out the other. I saw the trailer and then I saw her name come up and I'm like, you don't need to be in this movie. You're only the freaking love interest for Ansel and you have no chemistry with him at all. He had more chemistry with Shailene Woodley in freaking Divergent as her brother and in The Fault in Our Stars in the trailer that I saw. I haven't seen the movie yet, but like I said, he's a better actor with her than this freaking useless Brit. I'm sorry, just I don't know what it is. It's just they rub me the wrong way. Like they fake an accent, and I'm like, you can't fool me. I have eyes and I have ears and I have the internet, so I can check out who you are. And if you don't appeal to me, I cast you out, like freaking Thor's father did in the first Thor movie. Like I said, that movie had Brits, but it has some that I give a shit about, except for Idris Elba, who dies in the beginning of the movie. Yeah, spoiler. Who cares? Hemdall was not a main character in that movie anyway. But like I said, Baby Driver, well done, well shot, good action, good some good laughs here and there. There's some scenes in the where they're talking to each other, before doing the heist, and then Kevin Spacey starts to yell, and yeah, there's a lot of good scenes like that. And what works in the movie, despite freaking Lily James's dumbass. But overall, it's a good film. Deserves the high ratings. Deserved. It was a surprise hit last year. No one was expecting it to be good. I thought it would be good, but it was surprisingly good. But it's just too long. Like you could have cut Lily James out, put another actress there, and that actually has a Southern accent, or just an American actress or a Canadian actress, do the same thing, it would have been a lot shorter. Or just edit her out entirely. I don't think Ansel needed a love interest in this movie. It just feels completely forced, like he's doing all this for her, and I'm like, it's not worth it. At the end, when they're together and he gets out of prison after the heist, I'm like, didn't buy it. I was like, just please end. I don't care about this shitty love story. I just it's not a romantic comedy. This is a action crime film. It is not a romantic comedy. So yeah, the romance is probably the weakest part of the film, but everything else is good. Freaking A. I think that Lily James just should have been cut out of the movie entirely. You got the rest of the actors that are guys and one Spanish girl who's very attractive. At least I can look at her and I can take her accent compared to this. This is just painful, painfully fake, and it takes me out of the experience. But anyway, guys, Baby Driver's a good one. Good ensemble cast, well written, well paced, but the scenes with Lily James just suck ass. I think they're just filler, and that doesn't work. Just like with Alice even in Into Darkness, or anything Haley Atwell has been in. I'm like, when it doesn't work for me, I'm gonna tell you on camera, and don't you dare call me a racist, because that's not what I am. If I don't like a certain actress or an actor, you will know about it. I'm not gonna hide that. I will never apologize, because I don't want to do that. Because so these people got to be put in their place for ruining a lot of cinema in this decade. But anyway, Baby Driver's good. Watch it. It's worth your time. And Edgar Wright, I've liked most of his work. I really have. But again, don't ever cast Lily James in one of your movies again. She's just nothing. In one ear, out the other. Just bland as all hell. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next review. Hopefully, with something a little more positive without as much anger. It's just, these people, there's always good movies that are slightly ruined because of a stupid cast member, or a bad line, or a scene that could have been cut out. But anyway, it's a good movie. I don't think it's horrible. So, see you in the next review.